welcome back to another tutorial brought to you from Backfist Customs Glitter. I'm Nicole. Today I'm going to be showing you how to fill the keychain bangle mold. This is the smaller mold that's thicker. There are two molds. There's a clear one that's bigger. I think it's 4 inches. This one I think is 3.5 inches. So one of the common questions I get and I see, especially in the Facebook groups, is how do you get rid of the ditch? How do you get rid of the bubbles? How do you get yours so smooth? So today I'm going to show y'all exactly what I do. So for this tutorial you're going to need your 2-part epoxy resin. I'm going to be using Paris glitter. I already have my resin sitting and the bubbles are rising to the top. You're going to need your bangle mold and you're going to need pipettes and 4 popsicle sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the bubbles in my resin. One of the best tips I can give you with this tutorial is don't try to make a bangle with leftover resin from a cup, because once your resin starts to harden, you're going to get air bubbles. It's going to become tacky and you're not going to be able to get that free flowing resin like you need. So I open my mold like this with 4 popsicle sticks. Sometimes they want to stay, sometimes they don't. And I'm going to pinch my cup. This is just a condiment cup. I get them at Walmart, Sam's. The bangle mold, the glitter, and the pipettes all come from backfistcustoms.com. Everything that you see that I'm using in this video, I will link it in the description box below. And if you're new here, welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for checking out this tutorial, this channel. Make sure you hit subscribe and hit the bell so that way you know when we go live with new content. Y'all don't want to miss all the content that we are putting up. We have been keeping a running list, especially if you're in the Backfist Customs Glitter Creation group. If you're not, go join it. There's so many talented artists in that group. But we've been making a list. Every time y'all say y'all want a tutorial, we have been writing it down. So, you got your popsicle sticks, which is going to open it for you. And you're going to take your finger and you're going to kind of pull it back. And you're going to fill this edge. And it is okay if you make a mess. You just want to clean your mess up. How I get mine so perfect is with the pipettes, and I keep my mold very clean. And literally I put it back in the thing. So you open it. Once you get resin on the side, it's hard to. You're just going to pour. Try to pour right where you put that popsicle stick, and there's an opening. And it will free flow right down in there. So make sure you have baby wipes available, because you are going to have to clean up the edges of your mold. Because if you don't clean them up while it's wet, you will have to clean it up after you demold. So I just keep turning it so that the side that I'm working on is closest to me. And you just pour it in. And if you have spilled resin, just pick it up on your popsicle stick and put it back in your cup. Pinching that edge right there and putting it literally right in that crevice. So these are pretty filled. I can take these out. So I have, actually I'm going to put this one back in. Oh, well that popsicle stick is deformed, y'all. No wonder it wouldn't stay. So right here where I have it open, I stick the edge of my cup in there, right next to it, and I pour slowly. So that way it has time to move out of the way and move down the mold. And I come on this side and I do the same thing. So once you get to this point and it's pretty much full, it looks full. It is full. But as you can see, it's not completely full. There is a ditch on the back of it. So my tip for the ditch is the pipettes. It takes a little bit of work to get them in the pipette. It's kind of slow. You see it rising. You squeeze and you just let it sit there and it will pull it up through the pipette. And if it acts like it's stopped, you just squeeze it again. Sometimes you gotta let all the air out and start over. You can see it slowly rising up in there. You can cut the end of your pipette off a little, like this one right here, to make it easier to go up in the pipette. But I find for better control, the non-cut pipette works a little bit better. So you're going to take your baby wipe and you're going to go over the top. That's why I did not completely fill it up, because you're going to use your pipette to fill it up the rest of the way. You want to be able to drag this baby wipe all the way around this mold and get it as clean as possible. Also, another tip is make sure you are on a completely level surface. So you got your pipette full of your glitter. Oh, it's so sparkly, y'all. And you are going to just drizzle a circle around until it's overfilled a tad, a smidge. There will be a picture of what it should look like when it is correctly overfilled. And it's going to make almost a hump. So that way, and you guys, y'all might have to do it twice depending on how much you filled it up. I'm probably going to have to do it twice. And you want to keep it as, see, I got a little bit on the edge. I'm going to wipe that off, because whatever you have on the edge of your mold, it will cure to your bangle and you will have to clean it up afterwards. When you get that air bubble, you just wait for it to come back down. And getting eye level with your mold so you can see how much resin you have is a very good way to see if you've got the correct amount. And then you can go back with your popsicle stick. If you see any that's really spilled over anywhere, you can go back with that popsicle stick and get it off. Alright. So we're going to let this bangle cure for 12 to 24 hours depending on the brand of resin that you use. You want to make sure that the bangle molds are completely cured before you take them out. I know we are all impatient and we want our project out immediately, We want to see how it came out. But the bangle molds need to keep their shape. If you take them out early and they're not completely cured and you lay them on an unlevel surface, they're going to cure wonky. So we will come back to this for the demold as soon as it's cured. Thank you guys. Hey y'all, it has been 24 hours since I have poured the Bangle Mold with Paris glitter. So now it's time to demold it and see what we have. So as I stated earlier in the tutorial, I taught y'all the no ditch method with the pipettes. So you're going to see how that turned out. So on my bangle molds, I pull the edges, outside edge first, and then I'm going to pull that inside edge. Make sure it is free, and then I flip it, and I pull one whole side and I flip it up. No air bubbles. So pouring your resin right after you mix will eliminate the majority of the air bubble issue. I know so many people use these molds as a way to use leftover epoxy from doing tumblers, but if you're really wanting to get into keychains and you want to make the keychain, just go ahead and pour the entire keychain at once. I made 40 milliliters of resin up for this keychain, and it took about 30. So on the back, you're not going to have a completely round surface like this on the back. You are going to have an edge, but it's not going to be a ditch, so to speak. The ditch, I mean, it's literally, it's concave, and it's got sharp edges, and you have to sand or cut it with the X-Acto knife. This is just a flat, smooth edge. So they're perfect to just attach your hardware and attach your keys, give it as a gift, sell it in your shop. So the pipettes are a lifesaver on the bangle molds. So once you fill it up, you just put that extra couple little rings in to overfill it just a little bit. Make sure that you keep, as you can see, I kept the mold very clean. Make sure you keep the edges of your mold clean, and nothing extra is going to come out on the edge that you have to clean up. So thank you guys so much for checking out this tutorial brought to you from Backfist Customs Glitter. Everything you've seen is going to be linked in the description box below. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to say those down below. We're definitely checking those and want to respond back to y'all. So thank you so much. Have a great day.